All right, I want to welcome everyone to the Lifestyle Changers Financial Freedom presentation. My name is Angela Williams. I have a bachelor's degree in finance. I have a master's degree in business. I call myself a cash flow specialist. I spent about 13 years climbing the corporate ladder in the accounting field, got laid off back in 2008. And even though I had about $80,000 in cash saved, I ended up having to go 4 years without finding a job. So what ended up happening is I basically was in financial ruins. You know, I lost my home, I lost my savings, I lost my career standing, and I also felt like I had lost my confidence. But the one thing that was instilled in me is that if I can get knocked back down, I can get back up. And I had to just put my mind to work. And what I did is decided to create my own job. So I opened up my very own boutique. It's called Glamour and Gifts Boutique. I've actually been in business by the end of this month for 10 years. And I have joined myEcon the very last week of October of last year. So I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary with myEcon. I hit EVP the same day, EVP Gold in 10 days, EVP Platinum in 6 months, and EVP Infinity just 2 short months later. So I'm here to tell you with the strategies that I have learned, I am not only debt free, but I am 100% unemployable because I honestly believe that no one can pay me as good as I can pay myself. So the reason why you're on this webinar right now, and the reason why we're in everybody's home, is because I want us all to start building financial legacies, and we're going to use the vehicle of entrepreneurship. So if you were to just look at this chart, white-owned businesses create 55.9 million jobs a year. So they're able to employ about 44% of the white population. Now compare that to Hispanic-owned businesses. They create about 2.5 million jobs, and they're only able to employ about 8% of the population. Now look at Black-owned businesses. We create only 1 million jobs, so we're only able to employ about 4% of the Black population. So as you can see, there is power in business ownership. And what I want to impress upon you is that we spend $1.3 trillion a year. So it's not like we broke. We're just not spending our money in the right places, because actually where you spend your money is where you give your power. So what I want to do is give you a mental shift so that you can transfer some of those spending dollars to Black-owned or minority-based businesses so that we can increase our numbers. Now, in order for you to be able to even launch a business, first things first, you have to get your financial house in order. On my team, I'm going to teach you 12 different wealth strategies, but for right now, I want to talk about the top 5. So when you partner with myEcon, we're going to show you how to increase your cash flow, how to eliminate your debt, how to both build your emergency savings fund and your retirement at the same time. And we're also going to teach you how you can increase your credit score. Now let's talk about the financial literacy report card. Here's some real facts. 1 out of 5 adults live beyond their means. 50% of all Americans is one crisis away from being homeless. So that means if you were to lose your job tomorrow and you couldn't find another job in the next year, 2 years, what if you had to wait 3 years? Would you be able to maintain your bills? Would you be able to keep your house? Would you be able to drive the car that you have? Well, the reality is 60% of people do not have $600 in their savings account right now. 67% of African Americans have no emergency savings in case you lose your job, you lose your spouse, or you get sick. But let's take a look at the average wealth. The average wealth in America is about $141,000, but the average wealth for African Americans is $11,000. So you mean to tell me that you work 40 hours a week for 40 years and your wealth is about $11,000? I mean, if you're going to do that much work, you need to have something to show for it. And the problem is we have the lowest home ownership rate in America. We don't own any homes. That's why our average wealth is only $11,000. And Fortune magazine did an article that if we stay on the same path of not generating and building wealth, by 2035, we will drop as far as our average wealth to $1,700. That's crazy. 77 million people don't pay their bills on time. 56% of US adults do not have a budget. They don't even know where their money is going. 80% of people is in debt. 24% of adults use payday loans to get by. 30% of Americans have no life insurance. 1.3 trillion people have student loan debt is $1.3 trillion. 54% of college students have overdrawn bank accounts because their parents is not teaching them what to do with their money or how to manage their money. And a startling fact is that 66% of all African American homes is headed by single moms. So you're relying on one source of income. You have to have income insurance in case you lose your job. 43% of Americans are financially illiterate. Now let's think about your retirement right now. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at this chart and I want you to find your age. This is basically where your 401k or your 403b or your any investment vehicle that you're using, here is your balance. Are you on track? If you are 30 years old, you should have $64,000 saved right now. If you're 40 years old, you should have $162,000 saved. If you are 45, you should have $231,000 saved. If you are 50, you should have $319,000 saved. If you are 65, you should have a minimum of $750,000 right now. Are you on track? Are you on track? And if you're not, this is your wake-up call. You're going to have to do something different because here's the reality. 81% of people don't even know how much money they need to save on a monthly basis to even retire comfortably. 50% of Americans have $0 in their retirement accounts right now. What I want you to understand is I hope you're not putting your retirement savings off, assuming that you're going to be able to fall back on your Social Security. Social Security was not designed to take care of you in your retirement. It was designed just to be a supplement. See, the average Social Security check is about $1,300. In the state of Illinois, it's about $900. So if you can't live off of $1,300 now, how are you going to live off of that when you turn 65? Especially if you haven't paid off your home, you still have a mortgage. Or let's say you don't have a home at all, you're still renting. So after you pay the rent and utilities, that $1,300 is gone. What are you going to do? So if you don't make any decisions and make some decisions now, you're going to find yourself retiring and depending on the government to take care of you or your children to take care of you. So you shouldn't be able to sleep comfortably tonight. You really should be thinking about what you need to do different because what you've been doing is not working because you're not where you want to be financially. There's a reason why your 401k balance is not intact. There's a reason why you cannot save. First of all, if you are an employee and you're working a 9-to-5 job, you are taxed at the highest tax rate in America. You're taxed anywhere from 28 to 33%. So let's say you in corporate America and you're making $50,000 a year. Well, a third of your income is taken right off the top in taxes. So that's $16,000 that you're paying in taxes. And guess what? You have to live off of $34,000. But here's the trap. Your mortgage, your car note, your student loan payments was all based on that $50,000 gross income, but you have to pay it all off of your net. This is the reason why you're not able to pay you first. This is why you're not able to save. This is why taxes is killing your income and it's increasing your debt because you have to use credit cards to buy the things that you need or you want. And that's why so many people are taking out payday loans to float them in between pay periods. Why? Because you have extended yourself. You have one source of income and 10 to 12 different hands is coming into your out of your paycheck. So when you get paid, you don't even own your money. You get paid and you make other people rich. And that's not including the big businesses that are advertising to you. Every time you turn around, there is a reason why you need to be spending money outside of your bills. There's Valentine's Day, there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day. There's 4th of July. Your kids go back to school. You gotta buy clothes. Halloween is coming up. People want to go to Halloween parties. Then there's Thanksgiving. You got to spend money to be around your family. Then there's Christmas. You got to buy somebody a gift. And then we all know somebody that's having a birthday. We have to go out to the restaurant and celebrate your birthday. Somebody is getting married. Somebody's having a baby reveal party. There's always a reason why you need to be spending money and you're not paying you first. So the solution is you have to increase your cash flow, and you also need better money management skills. So welcome to the world of myEcon. We are a 12-year-old debt-free financial literacy education company. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We have over 67,000 distributors across the country, and the strategies that myEcon teaches us has allowed us to cash flow over $450 million as distributors. What I love about myEcon is we give you the best of both worlds. We give you high in-demand products and services that you can sell and generate business income, but we also teach you something that no other business in the industry does, and that is teach you personal finance. Because here's the reality. You can make all the money in the world. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep, and do you have the ability to grow your money? Let's talk about the financial services industry. It's a $119 billion industry. But guess what's happening? Financial literacy education is on the come up right now, because financial literacy education, it helps people make better financial decisions and make the most of their money. And myEcon's mission is to financially educate 1 million people across the country without selling financial services. You know, myEcon is almost like college. What is the product that college sell? There is no product. The product that you sell is education. So that's what myEcon does. We sell education. And what has happened is there are a number of people who are well known as personal finance experts who are making millions of dollars in the industry. We have Susie Orman that created a $25 million business by teaching people how to get out of debt. Same with Dave Ramsey. He's created an $80 million a year business teaching people how to build wealth. Same with Robert Kiyosaki, over $100 million. And then we're trying to get our foot in the door. You see Tiffany there, the budgetista, who is making money showing people how to create budgets and fix their credit. So we are needed. And guess what? The lack of financial literacy is one of the contributing factors of social injustice, and it widens the gap between the haves and have-nots. And one of my favorite sayings is, ignorance is expensive, but you can make a whole lot of money when you hold the keys to building wealth. So what we're going to do is position you to be able to earn a piece of the financial services pie, yet we don't sell one financial service. We don't sell insurance. We don't tell you that we're going to manage your money. We're not going to take your money and invest it in the stock market. We are going to educate you. And that is what is so powerful. So the first thing we're going to teach you is how to increase your cash flow in the next 10 to 14 days. So the first place we're going to look is your job. So what I want you to think about is the W-4 form that you filled out when you first started your job. This document right here actually came off of the IRS website. And basically what it is saying is that 101 million taxpayers got refund checks. So I want you to understand that when you get a refund check from the government, it doesn't mean that you got free money. You ain't getting no extra money. That is your money. But guess what? You're not getting all your money that they're actually taking out of your paycheck. But here's what the IRS is saying to why people are getting refunds. They believe that you are using the refund check as a forced savings method. That means that you don't have the ability to save your money. So you want the IRS to take your money out every pay period so that you can have a lump sum of money at the end of the year. But here's the reality. Uncle Sam does not pay interest on your refund. So you're actually losing out on the return of investment if you had your money up front. What the IRS says that you should do is put your money in a savings account or use that extra money to pay down your debt. So the reason why you're not doing it, I have no idea. Now let's look at the top of the W-4 form. What does it say? It says, Consider completing a new Form W-4 each year and when your personal or financial situation changes. So what is a personal change? When you get married, have a baby. What is your financial change? When you decide to buy a home or you start a home-based business. Now, I know so many people who have not changed their W-4 since they started a job, and they've been working for 10, 20 years. So the very first strategy that we're going to teach you is how to correct your tax withholding. So basically, we're going to show you how to correctly and legally adjust your W-4. Not manipulate, but correct your W-4. So what we're not going to be doing is, if you qualify for 2 allowances, we're not going to show you to adjust it to 10 and then bring it back to 2. We're not going to have you writing exempt for 6 months and then taking the exempt back, because the reality is this: the only people who can file exempt is people who are over the age of 65, people who are legally blind, or people who make less than $10,400. If that's not you, you cannot file exempt. But we're going to show you how to legally correct your W-4. Now, most Americans have only seen the first page of the W-4, okay? But guess what? There is a second page to the W-4. And most HR departments don't give you the second page because they assume you do not have a business. So we're going to show you, for example, let's say you are a single person. All right, and you have no kids. Well, the most allowances that you can claim on your W-4 is about 2. But when you unlock the second page of the W-4, you can increase your allowances from 2 to 8. So let's say you're a single mom and you got 2 kids. Well, legally, you can adjust the first page of your W-4 and you can claim 8. But guess what? When you unlock the second page of the W-4, you can increase your number of allowances from 8 to 10 to 12. The highest I've seen is 14, and you can do it legally. But here's the catch. Here's the catch. Even though you can adjust your W-4 just by accurately reading the questions and making sure that it applies to you, most people, when they do it, because you don't have any deductions to write off at the end of the year, you end up owing the IRS. And that is why our parents always taught us, well, can't claim 0 or claim 1 so you don't owe. Okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to legally correct the first page. We're going to show you how to open up the second page so you can get more allowances. And we're also going to show you how to increase your net take-home pay by extra $200 to $1,200 cash every month and not owe Uncle Sam at the end of the year. And we call it income shifting. So just by income shifting your check, we have people that's getting an extra $200 a month, an extra $500 a month, an extra $700 a month, an extra $1,000 cash back into your household just by income shifting. You're going to be getting an extra $200 to $1,200 every single month. That's $2,400 to over $14,000 cash extra every single year without selling or recruiting. Because basically what we're showing you is how to own your paycheck. Now, what are you going to do with that extra money that's going to fall in your check? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you a debt elimination strategy, because we honestly believe that debt destroys dollars, okay? Because when you're in debt, you can't invest. So what you're going to do when you partner with myEcon is you're going to complete my money management workshop, and I'm going to have you list out your debts. So in this example, we have a business partner who's making an extra $600 a month in their paycheck. After listing out their debts, they have a $17,000 car note balance. They're paying $545 a month. So we're going to teach you to take that $600, put it on top of that $545 monthly payment, and your new payment is going to be $1,145 a month. Guess what? You're going to pay that car note off in 15 months instead of 32 months. Then we're going to go down to the second debt. You owe $8,000 in credit card debt. You're paying $200 in minimum balances. So you're going to put that $545 car note that you was paying, because now your car is paid off, plus the extra $600 in your paycheck on top of that Visa note, and you're going to pay $8,000 in credit card debt off in 6 months instead of 6 years. Then we're going to go to the elephant in the room, and that is your mortgage. So this person has a $200,000 mortgage. They got a $1,200 a month mortgage payment. So we're just going to apply debt stacking. We're going to put that $200 that they was paying in Visa because they've paid their Visa cards off, the $545 that they was paying in the car note because they paid that car off, plus the extra $600 in their paycheck. Guess what? They have paid off a $200,000 mortgage in 6 years instead of 30 years. Isn't that awesome? This individual actually paid off $225,000 in debt in 8 years and 4 months with their own money. They didn't have to go and get a second job or a third job. They didn't have to go back to school, get in more student loan debt in order to try to get a better job that is not guaranteed. They got completely out of debt with their own money. Now, here's the reality. They not only paid off $225,000 in debt, but they saved over $332,000 in interest payments. See, eliminating high interest debt is truly an investment because a penny saved is a penny earned. So now this person is completely debt free. They don't owe anybody. They 100% own their paycheck. So now they got an extra $2,545 a month to do whatever it is that they want to do. They can travel the world, or they can do what we teach you to do, and that is invest. In myEcon, we're going to teach you to put your money to work for you, because here's the reality. Dollars are not picky where they work, but they need to be invested in order for them to work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to invest. So if you had an extra $2,545 a month, that's $33,000 a year. If you were to invest that into the stock market, and you get a 10% return, and that's kind of small because the stock market actually have been given about 12% in some cases. But let's say you got a 10% return on investment. In 10 years, you'll have $500,000. In 15 years, you have over $1 million. So let's say you're 25 years old right now. You can be a millionaire by the time you're 40. Let's say you in your 40s. You can be a millionaire and actually retire 12 years earlier. And so what we're going to do is we're going to educate you on the language of investing, teach you how to start investing in the stock market, because it's all about ownership. You know, we spent about $300 buying a Michael Kors bag, but you can buy Michael Kors stock for about 50 bucks. We spend $200 on Jordans. Well, guess what? Nike stock is about 40, 50 bucks, you guys. You know, we put our money into banks, but do you know that you can own a piece of the bank? Do you know that Bank of America is about $35 a share? So we're going to teach you how to stop just supporting capitalism, but start participating in capitalism. So what you have to do is you got to have ownership. You got to own assets. And what we call this method is cash, asset, cash. So you're going to increase your cash flow, invest it in assets like stocks, bonds, start your own business or a franchise, or you can start investing in real estate. Get you some income property, because guess what? 100% of landlords make money in their sleep. 90% of all millionaires created their wealth through real estate. So we're going to show you how to take that additional cash flow, invest it in assets that's going to turn around and pay you and make you more money. Isn't that amazing? The second strategy that we're going to teach you is how to minimize your taxes. Why? Because we're going to show you how just by having a home-based business, you're going to be able to write off your lifestyle, and these deductions is going to offset your tax liability so that you get more of your money up front, but you don't owe Uncle Sam at the end of the year. So here's what you can write off. You can write off 100% of the cost of starting and operating your myEcon business. So basically what that means is your myEcon business is pretty much free. We're also going to allow you to be able to write off a percentage of your rent. See, if you have a mortgage, you can write off the interest and the real estate taxes, but you've never been able to write off your rent. But when you have a home-based business, now you can. You get to write off a percentage of your utilities, your electric, your gas, your water bill. You get to write off a percentage of your cell phone bill and your internet access. You get to write off a percentage of your car note, even if it's a lease payment, and the gas that you put in your car. I mean, you are spending money on this every single month. Why not make it work for you? when you have a home-based business, you are actually reimbursed on your mileage. So every time you drive a mile in your car, you are reimbursed 53.5 cents per mile. You also get to write off a percentage of your travel. So if you're going to Miami, you're going to Las Vegas, you're going to Bahamas, you're going to Dubai, guess what? We keep our marketing tools with us, our business cards, our brochures. We meet people while we're out and about. And guess what? We get to write off the hotel costs. We get to write off the airfare, the rental cars. If you decide to go on a cruise, we can write that off. When I go on vacation, I like to actually rent out vacation homes instead of staying in hotels. Well, guess what? You get to write that off. You get to write off percentage of your meals, your drinks, your entertainment. So if you go to Cavaliers game, or you go see the Golden State Warriors or the Bulls game, White Sox games, Cubs games, guess what? You get to write that off. You get to write off a percentage of your office supplies, your computer. You decide to get an iPhone, you can write that off. But here's the gold mine, especially for those who have children. See, when you have a home-based business, you can employ your kids into your business and you get to write off $6,300 per child. So when you join myEcon, we're going to teach you the tax laws, and we're going to teach you directly from the IRS publications. So what's going to happen is at the end of the year, your tax preparer is going to fill out a Schedule C and attach it to your 1040 so that all your lifestyle deductions is going to offset your tax liability. And again, you're not going to owe the IRS. So let me give you an example of what it looks like from a tax perspective at the end of the year. Let's say you're a single mom with 2 kids. Before you joined myEcon, you were making about $50,000 a year. Well, when you file your taxes, you get the head of household deduction. So again, this is just an example. Take $10,000 off. So your net income is about $40,000. And then you get the deduction for 2 kids, $12,000. Guess what? Your taxable income is $28,000. Now you're taxed at the highest tax rate. So they're going to take about 33% of that. And basically they're going to see how much money came out your paycheck at your job. And if they took out more money than what you owe, then you're going to get a refund. If they did not, you're going to owe at the end of the year. Now, look what happened with a person. And let's say you decide to join myEcon. You got the same statistics. You're making $50,000 a year. You got 2 kids. Your taxable income is $28,000. Well, because you have a home-based business, you get to write off your life, right? So now you get to write off $8,000 because you get reimbursed on all the miles that you drive on your car. Then you get to write off your cell phone bill. So take off another $1,000 because a lot of people, you're paying over $100 a month for your cell phone bill. Then let's say you traveled, you went on vacation for the year. You writing off $3,000. Then all the meals that you eat at the restaurants outside of your groceries, all of the movies where you're giving out your business cards when you're at the movies or when you go to different events. Guess what? That's $3,000 that you're writing off. Then you're going to write off your myEcon membership, and maybe you do a little bit of buying advertising and promotions and things like that. You do some marketing, so you write off another $1,000. Guess what? Your net income is now $12,000. So I want you to think about that for a minute. Your gross income was $50,000. After having head of household and kids, your taxable income is about $28,000. Because you have a home-based business, you were able to drop your taxable income from $28,000 to $12,000. But it gets better. Remember, I said you can hire your children into your business as long as they're over the age of 6. So guess what? She got 2 kids over the age of 6. She gets to deduct $12,000 in child wages. And we're going to show you how to do that. What is her taxable income? $0. You guys, this is the secret of the rich. This is how Donald Trump was able to write off $1 billion of business expenses and not pay taxes. Well, guess what? You get the same tax advantages as big businesses when you have a home-based business. You know what income shifting really means is that we take you from a higher tax rate of $50,000 and paying 28 to 33% to a lower tax rate where you're paying anywhere from 15% to 22%. Now, most of the people who filed their taxes that were in myEcon on my team last year was able to keep 90% of their take-home pay, and they still got 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 federal refund checks, all because they had a home-based business. And this is why every person in America, especially if you have a job, you need to tie a home-based business to your income, especially if you're in corporate America and you don't have no children or you don't have a home. You need additional tax write-offs. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to provide you with a record-keeping software that is going to be IRS compliant. And what you're going to do from this point on when you partner with myEcon is you're going to track your income and you're going to track your expenses. So we're going to give you a software that you can access from your computer or your phone. There is going to be a button, and it's called the GPS tracker, where you can click that button and it will automatically track your mileage. Now, what you're going to do is every time you spend money on your rent, your car note, your cell phone bill, every time you eat out at a restaurant, you are going to record that into your cash register. So you're going to, let's say this example is meals and entertainment. You're going to put the date, you're going to put the amount, you're going to, we went to Red Lobster, what is always business meeting, team meeting, where in Chicago, local, online, whatever. And what you're going to do is you're going to take a picture of your receipt, and it's going to store that receipt into a cloud for you. So you're going to enter all your expenses from this point on. At the end of the year, you're going to be able to print out a report, and this is your expense log, and it's going to list all your expenses for the year, and it also attaches your receipts. This is the document that you are going to give to your tax preparer so that they can fill out your Schedule C so that you get all your tax deductions. And I'm telling you, there are people who maybe are already in a business that are not getting all the deductions because they're not tracking their expenses. So even a person that is in business should still be in myEcon. But let's say, for example, you're audited. Well, the reason why people get audited is, number one, is random, but also people may say, I spent $600 on meals and entertainment, but then the IRS says, can you provide us with receipts? Well, when you can't provide them with receipts, well, then what is that? That's fraud. So you have to owe the IRS back. So the beauty of the record keeping is that even if you were audited by the IRS, you have your worksheets and you have your receipts. So that is going to make you IRS compliant. Now, what we're also going to provide you is some financial planning tools. So we're going to provide you with some financial calculators. We're also going to give you a step-by-step blueprint so that you can plan your retirement. We're going to give you some tools that you can use to track your budget as well as track your paying off your debt. The third strategy that we're going to teach you is the cost of having bad credit. Here's an example of two people buying the same car, $20,000 5-year note. The person with good credit paying $387 a month. The person with bad credit paying $599. You're paying more because you made some bad financial decisions in your life, okay? But here's what I want you to really pay attention to. The person with good credit paid a little over $3,000 in interest, but that person with bad credit paid over $15,000 in interest. So basically, the person with bad credit, they bought their car twice. See, this is the catch. This is the bondage. You know, a lot of the banks are making money off of your ignorance and bad financial decisions. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to increase your credit score, because we're going to give you credit repair education. So we got a step-by-step system. There's over 10 different modules. We're going to show you how to pull your credit report, how to create a dispute worksheet, what letters to mail out to the credit bureaus. We're going to show you how to remove tax liens, medical collections. We're going to show you how to add trade lines as well as rent to your credit report. A lot of people are renting, and guess what? You might have been paying your rent on time for the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, but guess what? That rent is not, them rent payment history is not reported on your credit report. But guess what? We're going to show you what companies you can go through to make that happen so that you can get a boost in your credit score. Now, just by applying one of the strategies that I learned in our credit repair education portal is I learned how to use other people's credit to boost my credit score. So for example, my parents had got a gas card when I went to college way back in the 90s. Okay. And guess what? They gave me that gas card so that when I drove my car, I could fill out my gas. Well, I haven't used that card since I graduated from college, but that card was still open. So what I did is I told my parents to add my name as an authorized user to their gas card. And guess what? I was able to pick up their payment history from that gas card and have it applied to my credit report. So basically my credit score was about a 736. After I applied that one strategy, my credit score jumped 19 points in 7 days to a 755. So just by applying some of the strategies of paying off your debt can increase your credit score. This is somebody who increased theirs to a 728 for paying off their debt. We have another individual who credit score was a 530. They applied the strategies and myEcon started paying off their debt, start fixing their credit, and their credit is now a 705. Now here's some other perks that you're going to get when you partner with myEcon. So not only are we going to give you the wealth strategies, not only are we going to teach you the tax laws, not only are we going to provide you with a tax shelter, not only are we going to show you how to income shift your paycheck at your job, but we're also going to give you lawyers. You're going to have your own attorneys. So if you want to get a will, if you want to have them look over contracts, maybe you have a business idea, you want a patent, or you want to set up a LLC, a corporation, S Corp, whatever you need to do, you're going to have an attorney. You're also going to have access to your own certified public accountant. So if you have any tax questions, you can actually ask them. You're also going to have identity theft protection that is backed by $1 million policy in case somebody steals your identity. You're also going to have access to the world's largest cashback mall. So if you already shop at Walmart, Foot Locker, Old Navy, GameStop, Best Buy, Walgreens, you name it, it is back there. Guess what? Every time you shop at those stores, every time you shop at Macy's, every time you shop, you get money back. Isn't that awesome? That means that every time you spend money, you make money. You're also going to get access to 4 different travel portals so that you can book your hotels, you can book your flights, you can book cruises at a very low discounted rate. I mean, you can go to Bahamas for 5 days for about $240. I mean, it is amazing. You're also going to have access to discount eating. So you're going to be able to put your zip code into the restaurant portal, and it's going to list all the restaurants in your area where you're going to be able to eat at a 40, 50, even 60% discount. Now, for those people who income shift their paycheck and maybe you get an extra $200 or extra $400, but maybe you are so swarmed in debt that you need even more cash flow. Well, in myEcon, we also offer you 2 additional streams of income, because here's the reality. We have people in myEcon who just income shifted their paycheck. They didn't do any selling, they didn't do any sponsoring, and they actually became millionaires. Now it is a process. It takes a longer time to get there, but it can be done. But for those people who need a little bit more money right now, people who have maybe bigger goals, you want to fire your boss, or maybe you want to be a 6-figure income earner, or maybe you want to be a millionaire the fastest, well, then you want to incorporate the next 2 streams of income that is available to you. The first stream of income is website revenue. When you partner with myEcon, we are going to give you a website with products and services that people use on a daily basis. So the same identity theft protection you have access to, you can sell it to others and make money. The same credit repair education you have access to, you can sell it to other people. The same cash flow manager software that you're going to get to track your expenses, guess what? You can sell it to people who cut hair, do nails, people in Mary Kay or Avon, people who have businesses who are not getting all their tax deductions. We're also affiliates of Priceline. So if you got family and friends who are using it to book their travel, guess what? They can go through your website. You can get paid every time they book a hotel, get a rent a car, buy a flight. We're also in the health and wellness industry. So we have coffees, we have teas, we have nutritional supplements that are going to boost your immune system. It's going to give you energy, and it's going to allow you to lose weight. The same cashback mall that you can shop at and earn cash back, guess what? You can share that cashback mall with your family and friends, and every time they shop, you make money. You also can sell our roadside assistance. We also have our credit repair monitoring system. So we have tons of products. myEcon is an internet business. There is no inventory. Over 224 million people shop online. And guess what? You can promote these products in storefronts. You can sell them on Amazon. You can sell them on eBay. We actually use social media to advertise and promote our businesses. And I'm going to share with you some marketing tools that you can use. And just by applying this one stream of income, you can add an additional $200 to $2,400 cash in addition to the extra cash flow from shifting your paycheck. The second stream of income is for what I call business builders. So these are people who are interested in helping other educators open their own myEcon business. So you can decide to have educators in your community, or you can have educators all across the country. Now, I have a simple system that will teach you to earn a lot of bonuses and a lot of residuals. And it's a system that is so simple, anybody can do it. Selling is not required. And the best part is it doesn't take a lot of your time. My system is called the Power of 2 and 5. Sponsor 2 new business partners. And when you do that, you're going to get a rank advancement to EVP. EVP stands for Executive Vice President. Once you become an EVP, you qualify for what I call 100% commissions. That means that every time you set up a new educator to open up their new myEcon business, you're going to get paid a $35 upfront bonus. Help 10 people, that's $350 right off the top. And then you're going to continue to follow the system. It's 2 steps. First step, sponsor 2. Second step, sponsor 5 more. So that's a total of 7 people. One question I have for you, do you know 7 people with a job? If you know 7 people with a job, you can do this business, you can follow this system, and you can get all this juicy money that is on the table. So let me show you how it works. Again, sponsor your first 2, become EVP, and you're going to sponsor your 5 more. So when you sponsor 5 people that you know with a job, you're going to make $175 up front, $5 a month residuals. That's not nothing. Well, guess what? It's safe to say that if you know 5 people with a job, they probably know 5 people each with a job. Is that safe to say? Yes. So now the 5 is going to go out and they're going to help 5 other new people each start their own myEcon business. Now you got 25 new people joining your organization. That's $625 up front, $80 a month. Now the 25 is going to do what? Just duplicate the system. Sponsor 2 people and then sponsor 5 more. So now you have 125 new people entering your organization. You have made over $3,000 in upfront bonuses, and you're making $455 a month. That might not be a lot, but guess what? That'll definitely pay on a car note. Now the 125, what are they going to do? They are going to duplicate the system, okay? So what they're going to do by duplicating the system is now the 125 is going to bring 625 new people into your organization. You're going to make $15,000 in upfront bonuses. Now you're making $3,500 a month. And I'm here to tell you, when you're making $3,500 a month or $4,000, $5,000 a month, you can fire your boss. So instead of having to fake and call in sick, you're going to be able to call in well, because nobody can pay you better than you can pay yourself. And guess what? When those 625 people follow my system of 2 and 5, they're going to bring in another 3,000 people into your organization. You're making $78,000 in upfront bonuses. And now you're making $28,000 a month. $28,000 a month is $342,000 a year. Now you're a 6-figure income earner. Now you're making doctor, lawyer money. Now the 3,000, what are they going to do? They're going to follow the system. Just duplicate the system. Now those 3,000 are going to go out and find 5 family members or friends they know with a job. And guess what? Now you got 15,000 more people joining your organization. You're going to get paid $390,000 in upfront bonuses, and you're going to be earning $153,000 a month. That's $1.8 million a year. So if you ever wanted to be a millionaire, this is how you do it. If you ever want to be a 6-figure earner, this is how you do it. If you ever want to fire your boss, this is how you do it. Now, does it take time to build an organization of this huge status? Absolutely. It might take you 2 years. It might take you 7 years. But my question is, if it took you 7 years to generate a 6-figure income, would you do it? Would you do it? Because many of you have given your jobs 7 years and you're not making $100,000. Many of you have given your job 7 years, and you have not made $1 million. So this is just a way for you to generate residual income. And this is money that you're getting every single month after month, even when you don't get out of bed. This is what I call that beach money, that mailbox money, where you can go on vacation. Let me tell you, I had a surgery and I wasn't able to work my business for 6 weeks. But do you know that I got paid every single Friday because of my organization? We have well over 600 people, close to 800 people in our organization, you guys. And there are people in myEcon who has 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000 people in their organization, and they're making a great deal of money every single month. So it can definitely happen for you. Now, in myEcon, when you start to build your team and you start setting up other educators, you are paid every single Friday. So here's a check where I'm getting paid $1,000 every single Friday. How cool is it? You know, what if you were getting an extra $1,000 every week in between your paychecks? Wouldn't that be awesome? Our upline, Cedric Williams, that's his picture at the top. He made over $4,000 in 1 week. There are people who are working 40 hours a week, and in a month they make $4,000. He's making $4,000 in a week. That's over $16,000 a month. We have the Mayfields, where they made $681 in 1 day. Isn't that awesome? Now we got real people, real results. We got people holding checks at $8,000, $2,000, $10,000, $15,000. We got our upline in the upper left-hand corner. He's holding a check for over $53,000. Now what's going to happen is you're going to start cash flowing. Okay, so that's me holding my check, a cash flowing over $10,000. We got people cash flowing $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, $1 million. Well, let me tell you, once you start cash flowing, you're going to be able to invest on a higher level. So that means that you're going to be able to open up businesses and franchises in your community. Okay, why we don't have our own nail salons? We should have our own health food stores. We should have our own grocery stores. We should be able to have the type of restaurants in our neighborhoods that we want to have. So instead of having all these fast food restaurants, maybe we want more healthier choices. Well, guess what? We're the change that we've been looking for. So we can buy franchises. We can buy gyms. We can start our own dream businesses. We can pull our money together. You know, in my organization, I have an investment club where me and my business partners are pulling our money together, and we're buying stock on a larger level. We also can just go and buy real estate. You know, there's a lot of foreclosed property, a lot of abandoned buildings. Take those properties, you can flip them, turn them into investment rental apartments. Or you can take some of these abandoned buildings, fix them up, and use them for nonprofits. You know, maybe you can help give the homeless a place to stay. You know, create a after school program for children. So when you start cash flowing, you can really change the makeup of your community. So our mission is to get into every household and teach money management, teach them how to get out of debt, teach them how to fix their credit, and also teach them how to build wealth. We want to get in every high school, because every child that's educated on money management is going to make better financial decisions as adults. We're going to get in every college campus so they don't have to be bogged down by student loan debt. And maybe they want to get out of college and they want to create their own jobs. And we want to get into every church, because guess what? A lot of the churches, their members are living paycheck to paycheck. So guess what? They're not tithing as much. You know, there are a lot of churches that are still paying rents. Guess what? If you teach everybody in your congregation how to income shift, get more money in their paycheck, well, guess what? They're paying more tithes. And when they're paying more tithes, guess what? You're going to be able to pay off the mortgage of your church. Every church should have an endowment. And in myEcon, we can teach you how. So what is it going to take for you to partner with us? Well, first, let's talk about what you're going to get. When you partner with myEcon, you're going to get business and finance education. You're going to get wealth building strategies. You're going to get a free living will. You're also going to learn how to income shift and get extra money in your paycheck. You're going to get all the tax advantages of having a home-based business. You're going to get the cash flow management software so that you can track your expenses, and it's going to help you for end of the year reporting. You're also going to get credit repair education. You're going to get an e-commerce shopping website so you can generate additional business income. You're going to get identity theft protection backed by $1 million policy. You're going to get unlimited tax advice and preparation. You're going to get free and discounted legal services. You're going to get discount travel, discount shopping, and discount eating. And guess what? If you decide to share this opportunity with other people, just help us get more of our financial education into your community. You can also earn residuals, commissions, and bonuses, all for $34.95 a month. Can you believe you getting all that for $34.95? So for $1.16 a day, you're getting an e-commerce website so you can generate income. You're going to get a tax shelter so that you can give yourself a raise on your paycheck and get a higher federal refund check, and you'll be able to generate business income for $34.95 a month. And guess what? If you join myEcon tonight, tomorrow we can show you how to adjust your W-4, and you can get an extra $100 to $600 back in your paycheck in the next 10 to 14 days, all for $34.95. See, all it takes is for you to make a decision. That's all it's going to take. You are one decision away from being debt-free. You're one decision away from being able to fire your boss. You're one decision away from being able to retire early when you want to. You are one decision away from being able to travel the globe. You are one decision away from being able to send your grandkids to college. You're one decision away from being able to leave an inheritance. You're one decision away to be able to live in a house that you want to live in, to be able to drive the car that you want to drive without being limited to your paycheck. You are one decision away from being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it and money not be an issue. You are one decision away from owning your life. So what I want you to do is I want you to get back to the person who invited you to this webinar. They can get you signed up. We can get you trained, and we can put you on a whole new way of life. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up and allow you to ask questions if you have any questions. Okay, so if there's anybody out there who would like to ask a question, you can unmute your line now and ask your question. Okay, are there any questions?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, hello. Hi, do you have meetings here in the Dallas area?
Yes, there are meetings in the Dallas area. Are you in the business?
No, ma'am. No, I was invited by Curtis.
All right, well, awesome, Curtis. Now what you're going to do is as soon as you enroll in the business, every time they have a Dallas event or a Dallas training, you are going to be notified when that is happening in your area.
Okay, thank you.
And then I also do a lot of webinar training as well. And when you partner with us, you're going to be placed into our orientation and training system.
Oh, okay. Are you in the Dallas area?
No, ma'am, I'm out of Chicago.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. You guys, we
Thank
do
you for
these.
sharing. It was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking time out your busy schedule and listening to the webinar. You guys, I'm just super excited. You guys, we want to get educators all across the country. We're going to change some people's finances. We're going to be changing people's lives. I'm excited about that. Is there any other questions? King K, you got any questions? All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to end this webinar. Again, I want to thank you for coming on board. If you come up with any questions after this presentation, get back to the person who invited you to the presentation. Y'all have an awesome, awesome weekend. Who is that? Burton. Who is that? Brandon Burton. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's Monday.
It's Monday. What's Monday?
You have an awesome weekend on Monday.
Oh, you see, I'm used to having, wait a minute. I'm having one of those moments, so y'all have a better than amazing week. Thank you, King K. All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night.